Uddaret,
Uddaret,
one must deliver.
one must deliver.
Atmana,
Atmana,
by the mind.
by the mind.
Atmanam,
Atmanam,
the conditioned soul.
the conditioned soul.
Na,
Na,
never.
never.
Atmanam,
Atmanam,
the conditioned soul.
the conditioned soul.
Avasadayet,
Avasadayet,
put into degradation.
put into degradation.
Atma,
Atma,
mind.
mind.
Eva,
Eva,
certainly.
certainly.
He,
Indeed.
Atmanaha,
Atmanaha,
of the conditioned soul.
of the conditioned soul.
Bandhuhu,
Bandhuhu,
friend.
friend.
Atma,
Atma,
mind.
mind.
Eva,
Eva,
certainly.
certainly.
Ripuhu,
Ripuhu,
enemy.
enemy.
Atmanaha,
Atmanaha,
of the conditioned soul.
of the conditioned soul.
Translation: one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. Please repeat. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind
One must deliver himself with the help of his mind
and not degrade himself.
and not degrade himself.
The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul
The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul
and his enemy as well.
and his enemy as well.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
The word Atma denotes body, mind, and soul. Depending upon different circumstances, in the yoga system, the mind and the conditioned soul are especially important. Since the mind is the central point of yoga practice, Atma refers here to the mind. The purpose of yoga system is to control the mind and to draw it away from the attachment to sense objects. It is stressed here in that the mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mire of nescience. In material existence, one is subjected to the influence of the mind and the senses. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because the mind is involved with the false ego, which desires to lord it over material nature. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of the material nature. And in this way, the conditioned soul may be saved. One should not degrade oneself by attraction to sense objects. The more one is attracted by sense objects, the more one becomes entangled in material existence. The best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna consciousness. The word he is used here emphasizing this point. That is, that one must do this. It is also said, Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayaha bandhaya vishaya sango muktai nirvishayam manaha. For man, mind is the cause of bondage and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense objects is the cause of bondage. Mind detached from the sense object is the cause of liberation. Therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is cause of supreme liberation. So if you look at last few classes, we had Prabhu's talked about yoga ladder and also like in Sankhya Yoga, basically, this abbreviation for Sankhya Yoga, anybody can tell? Hare Krishna.
Easy.
Thank you, Prabhu. Easy, E is enemy or friend. A is Ashtanga Yoga. S, success or failure. And Y, topmost yogi. These are the 4 different sections of this chapter Sankhya Yoga, where in the first section, E is enemy or friend. So last class, Prabhu talked about Yoga Rudha. So verse 6.4. Can somebody tell what is Yoga Rudha, or how to attain yoga? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The
Go ahead,
person
Prabhu.
who is constantly engaged his mind, his all the activities in the service of the Supreme Lord, then that person is called in yoga.
Thank you, Prabhu. So yes, now a person having renounced all material desires, and he is neither act for sense gratification nor engage in fruitive activities, he is called Yoga Rodha, or person attained yoga. Thank you, Prabhu. So with this, let us talk about today's words. So, Uddared Atma Atmanam Natmanam Avashayayet Atmaiva hi Atma Bandhur Atmaiva Ripur Atmanaha. So translation is, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind. Uddaret Atmana Atmanam, and not degrade himself. Natmanam Avasadayet. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul. Atmaivahi Atmana Bandhur, and his enemy as well. Atmaiva Ripur Atmanaha. So if you look at these words, Atma is used in multiple places, each and every line of the words. So there is almost 7 times Atma is repeated in the words. So let us see what is Atma in this words. Atma means in these words. So Atma in Sanskrit, Atma, the word Atma or the self, it denotes body, mind, and soul, depending upon the different circumstances. In the yoga system, the mind and the conditioned soul are especially very important. So in this, since the mind is the central focal point of yoga practice, Atma refers here to the mind. So in this session, let us see that from the purport, the focus points for today is purpose of yoga system and influence of mind and senses. Also, we'll talk about how to disentangle oneself. So, purpose of yoga system. In the first line of the words that we read, Krishna says that Uddaret Atma Natmanam. It means that one must elevate himself by his own mind. So mind is very, very important in the yoga process. Controlling mind is paramount by the process of yoga. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind and draw it away from the attachment to sense objects. We read in the purport, and it is stressed here that the mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the ignorance. So let us say mind is also compared with driver, and the body is compared with the chariot or the car. For example, if you take a example of a driver, so mind is just like your car driver, and if you ask your driver to take you to the to some place, let us say Krishna temple in Shrewsbury, a driver will take you there. Similarly, like if you ask your driver to take to casino in downtown, he will take there. So a driver, he does his duty, and his business is to drive wherever you want to go. Similarly, our mind is the driver of this body and senses. So if a driver act on our order, then he is our friend. Or if the driver takes his own decisions and he goes wherever he wants, not caring about what we want to do, then it is definitely not our friend. Driver is our enemy. Similarly, our mind is like that. So Ashtanga Yoga, in this chapter that we are talking about, so it talks about eightfold yoga system, the starting with yama, niyama, asana, etc. So these processes, this yoga process is also for controlling the mind and make the mind one's friend. So then the yoga system means to control the mind in such a way that you will act as your friend, not as in your enemy. So then you might ask that why our mind acts as a friend sometimes, enemy sometimes. Because that mind is acting as a friend or enemy because we have got little independence. So we are all part and parcel of the Lord, and who has got full independence. Therefore, we also got a little independence, and our mind is controlling that independence, using that independence. So let us see how we should use that independence for our benefit. We need to see that how to control the mind with the yoga system, and how we can utilize the mind for our benefit. So in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that how Maharaj Ambarisha engaged his mind at a lotus feet of Krishna all the time. So it is said that Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vendayo. So Maharaj Ambarisha always engaged his mind in meditating upon the lotus feet of Krishna. His words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands is cleansing the Lord's temple, and his ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna. He engaged his eyes in the seeing the deity of Krishna, Krishna's temple and Krishna's palaces like Mathura and Vrindavana. He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees. He engaged his senses of smell in smelling the fragrance of tulasi offered to the Lord, and he engaged his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasada. He engaged his legs in walking to the holy places and temples of the Lord. His head is bowing down before the Lord, and all his desires in serving the Lord. 24 hours a day. Indeed, Maharaj Ambarisha never desires anything for his own sense gratification. He engaged all his senses in devotional service in various engagements related to the Lord. This is the way to increase attachment for the Lord and be completely free from all material desires. So here it is mentioned that how Maharaj Ambarisha engaged his mind, body, senses all the time, 24 hours on Krishna service, to keep Krishna on the mind all the time. So when we have Krishna on the mind, Maya or the darkness will never be able to touch us. So Krishna is like sun. So darkness won't enter into in the bright sunlight. So the whole yoga system means to make the mind strong and not to deviate from the supreme. This is the perfection of yoga. So one whose mind is so strong that mind will not allow any whimsical thinking by his own, then there is no fall down. If I think myself whimsically, if I behave the way I want, my senses, whatever my senses dictate, then there is a chance that I fall down. The mind is, so there is a chance of fall down. So as long as mind is strong and the driver is strong, he cannot take you anywhere unless you desire. So you might have heard story of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. So I will just brief you about the story. So Ambarish Maharaj observed the Ekadasi, and on the Dwadasi day before breaking his fast, Durvasa Muni comes to his palace, and Ambarish Maharaj receive him very respectfully, and Durvasa Muni goes for the bath in the river, and he won't come back for a long time till the noon. Panditas, Brahmanas tell Maharaj to take the Maharaja to take break the fast, because time is approaching to break the fast. So Maharaj Ambarish takes a sip of water. That Durvasa Muni sees that, and he becomes very angry, and he comes back and he invoke a demon, fire demon, to burn down the Maharaja. So Maharaj Ambarisha is not at all disturbed by that. He was having Krishna in his mind all the time. So by seeing this, Krishna has released his Sudarshan Chakra to kill demon, and Sudarshan Chakra kills the demon and follow Durvasa Muni to chase Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni tries all his tricks by his mystic yoga to stop Sudarshan Chakra, but he couldn't do that. Then he will run to Brahmaloka and ask for the shelter. Brahma also says that he can't give the shelter. Then he will go to Kailasha, where Lord Shiva says that he can't give the shelter, and he will ask him to go to Lord Narayana. He will go to Lord Narayana while the Sudarshan Chakra chasing him, and he bow down in front of Lord Narayana. Lord Narayana says that you have to go and ask forgiveness from Maharaj Ambarish. So he has to come back and fall on the feet of Maharaj Ambarish. Ambarish could pray Sudarshan Chakra to forgive him, and that way, the Durvasa Muni realizes that no, even though he was thinking he is an ordinary king, and whereas he has so many powers, where Durvasa Muni has so many powers where he can go to any planet in this universe. So with that pride, he is trying to insult Maharaj Ambarisha. So at the end, so the devotee of the Lord is always thinking about the Lord and not inimical to anybody. So in this way, simply by thinking the Lord and chanting and eating Krishna Prasadam and doing devotional service, one can become topmost yogi. And also, like, this shows that the highest perfection yoga system is to control the mind, and one can control the mind very easily if you keep the lotus feet of the Lord with us all the time. By doing sadhana and put in place by Prabhupada, we can easily make our mind a friend. So how to control the senses, and senses are controlled by the mind. We know that. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in 3rd chapter, Indrani Parani Ahur Indriyobhyaha Param Manaha Manasastum Parabuddhir Yo Buddhi Paratastu Saha. So the working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is higher than the mind, and intelligence even higher than and the soul is even higher than the intelligence. So when we think about our body is nothing but our senses. Our activities is nothing but the activities performed by the senses. But we have the mind above the senses. So, and mind is controlling the senses, and intelligence is controlling the mind. So yoga means here control the senses, and above the senses, the mind. So if we can control the mind, the senses are automatically controlled. So so let us say our tongue wants to eat something palatable or something forbidden in Shastras. But if your mind is strong and mind says that no, you can't eat, you cannot eat anything except Krishna Prasadam, then our tongue is controlled. So in this way, mind is the controller of our senses. And it is important for us to make our mind as our friend. So if one is in the spiritual platform, that means that on the soul platform, then his intelligence is spiritualized, his mind is spiritualized, and his senses also is spiritualized. So this is the process of Krishna consciousness. Actually, the spirit soul is working, but has given due to the material. Since the soul entered into the material body, so he has forgotten his relationship with Krishna, and thinks that he is this body, and gives the control to the mind. So, but when soul is awakened by this process of Krishna consciousness, when it is like a master is awakened, when in that case, the servant can't fool him and do whatever he wants to do. Like when master is alert, so just servant will follow. Similarly, when soul is spiritualized, intelligence is spiritualized, mind is also under control. So that working senses are under mind, so they will be also under control, and mind becomes our friend. So, and how do we engage our senses in bhakti? So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila, it is said that Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. Here, bhakti means to act spiritually. How we can act spiritually? We have to act with our senses. Therefore, we have to spiritualize our senses first. So it is said that bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and one's senses are purified simply by being employed in service of the Lord. So in this way, acting in Krishna consciousness is transcendental. But if we don't train our senses to act nicely, it will again fall down into these material nonsense activities. So we have to give engagement to senses to act for Krishna. Then only there is no chance of falling down. So this is Krishna consciousness or bhakti or devotional service that we call. You might ask, like, how to disentanglement of this material world, is it our choice? How to disentanglement from this world? Is there a choice for us? So it is said that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andhakara. So Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Whenever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of external energy will immediately vanish. So mind being engaged always in Krishna consciousness, there is no chance of it being engaged in Maya, Maya consciousness. So the more we engage our mind in Krishna consciousness, the more you keep yourself in like sunlight. There is no chance of getting into darkness. That is the process. So if you like, you can keep yourself within the room in darkness, and that is your choice. And you can come in the broad daylight as well, if you want. So that depends on our choice. But when you come in the broad sunlight, there is no chance of darkness. So when there is a Krishna, there is no Maya. Darkness can be eradicated. Darkness can be eradicated by the light. So similarly, no, light cannot be covered by darkness. Suppose we are in the dark room, and when we bring in one lamp, the darkness is gone. But you take something dark and go to the sunlight, then the darkness will dissipate. So using this process, we can make mind our friend. So keeping the mind engaged in Krishna consciousness, devotional service, in this way we can make our mind our friend. So devotional service means that fixing of one's mind in Krishna. So as soon as Krishna seated on the mind, there is no scope to become our mind becoming enemy. So it will be always our friend. Krishna is just like sunlight that we talked about. Maya is just like darkness. So what darkness will do in sunlight? Darkness cannot do anything under the sunlight. So if we keep ourselves in sunlight, darkness will automatically go out and it will fail to act upon us. This is the whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness that Prabhupada taught us. If we keep always engaged ourselves in Krishna consciousness activities, Maya will not be able to touch us, because there is no possibility of darkness becoming powerful under the light. So darkness will cannot be a dominant factor when there is a bright light. So mind do not have any other choice but becoming one's friend by following this process. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated that Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andakara. Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Andakara. So the Lord is just like effulgent sun. Consequently, whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present, there cannot be darkness or ignorance. So it's also said in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 7th chapter, by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. So Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranihita Amale Apashyat Purusham Purnam Mayam Cha Tat Apashrayam. Thus he fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service, Bhakti Yoga, without any tinge of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external enemy, which was under full control. So the same mind, Manasi means here the mind, when enlightened by Bhakti Yoga, by the light. So Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranihite Amale. When the mind becomes completely freed from all contamination, that can be done by Bhakti Yoga. So then Apashyat Purusham Purnam. So he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you do that, one see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mayam cha tat apashrayam. And he saw this Maya just on the background. So it won't be a dominating factor at all. When there is a light in the room, there could be a small amount of darkness in the background somewhere, but predominantly it will be it can't become a predominant factor. So Apashrayam, light and darkness. So along with the light, there is darkness also, little darkness. So darkness remains under the shelter of light, but it cannot become a dominant factor. But light does not remain under the shelter of darkness. At any time, as soon as there is a light, the darkness disappears. So again, in the next verse in the Bhagavatam, in the same chapter, it is said that Yaya sammohito jeva atmanam trigunatmanakam paropi manute anartham tat kritam chabi padyate. Due to this external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the three modes of material nature, thinks himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reaction of material miseries. Although this spirit soul is as light as Krishna, although it's small compared to the compared to Krishna, it's like if Krishna is a ocean, we are a drop of ocean, very small. But we are identifying ourselves with this material world due to illusion. When we identify ourselves with this matter, that is called illusion. So here, Atmanam Trigunatmakam, although he is transcendental, still he is engaged in material activities dedicated by material activities dictated by Maya. So since it is affected by the three gunas, so we are inflicted by the material suffering, and we are acting as dictated by Maya. So our position is that we are spiritual sparks, lightning sparks, but now we are covered by this illusionary energy, Maya, and we are being dictated by Maya and acting and becoming entangled more and more in this material energy. And we have to get out of this entanglement by this perfect yoga of Krishna consciousness, yoga system. So this now there is a quote in Amrita Bindu Upanishad. It is said that Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayaha bandhaya vishayasango muktai nirvishayam manaha. It is mentioned that it's for man, mind is cause of bondage. When mind is absorbed in sense objects, it is a cause of bondage. And if you look at if the same mind is detached from the sense objects, that causes liberation. Therefore, the mind always engaging in Krishna consciousness causes the supreme liberation. So this is the effect. So therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is a cause of supreme liberation. So let us make our mind our best friend by training the mind in Krishna consciousness. So when we born, is nobody is. If you look at the external world, so nobody is is our friend or our enemy. Just by the way of we treat each other, by the behavior only we can say that no one is our friend or our enemy. So nobody is like born enemy or is a born friend, but our mutual behavior, somebody is considered my friend, somebody is considered my enemy in the external world. But similarly, if you look at our within ourselves, we have to deal with ourselves within ourselves, our mind. So if I deal with myself as a friend, then I am my friend. The friendship is that I am soul. Somehow the other, I have become contact with this material nature. So I have to get myself out of this entanglement of this material nature. So if I act in that way, then I can become a friend to myself. But if we, even though after getting this opportunity, if we do not act in that way, then I am my enemy. So this Atmaivahi Atmano Bandhur, Atmaivahi Atma Rupuhu. So I myself is a friend and my friend, and also I am my enemy, depending on how I behave. So by practicing Krishna consciousness and by knowing that we are part and parcel of the Lord, and behaving in that way and engaging in the devotional services, then there is no chance of falling down, and we can be our friend all the time. Hare Krishna, thank you. So, do you have any questions?
Prabhuji, I don't have any question, but can you go to the first slide wherein you had written 3 points, purpose of yoga system? I was not able to write down. It was very quick.
Is this what?
Before this,
looking for,
Prabhu,
Mataji?
before this. Yeah, thank you.
So anybody has any questions? So, Hare Krishna Prabhu, you have any announcements, anything, Prabhu?
No,